Hello, HD14. I am looking forward to seeing everyone on Saturday. I wanted to take a second and address some of the feedback that I've gotten over the past 10 days, 2 weeks, because there's a lot of new people have come on board. And there's been three reoccurring questions that I want to address. The first one is, where do you stand on the issues? The second one is, how will we regain seats in the Colorado legislature? And the third is, isn't moving to the middle the best way to get Republicans elected? Okay, so let's start with the first question. Politically, I would align with Scott Bottoms and Ken DeGraff. That's where I fall on the spectrum. In fact, Scott Bottoms endorsed me in the HD14 vacancy committee just a couple of months ago. And I also received the highest endorsement from Colorado Right to Life, the pro life organization. So, but I would position that to say I am a package conservative, I'm a platform conservative, because there's no such thing as a line item conservative. This is people who just support one or two lines of the conservative platform. For instance, people who just mostly support the Second Amendment or and lower taxes. That's not conservative. That's frankly just individualism. The conservative platform includes the greater ideas of God, the purpose of life, the meaning of mankind. These undergird the philosophy and direction of its legislation. It answers why the world works like it does. There are no line item conservatives, but here are some of the standard conservative issues I would hold to: the Second Amendment and constitutional carry, no gun free zones, pro life, life begins at conception, marriage is between one man and one woman, men cannot become women, and men cannot impose on women's sports or women's spaces. Transing children is immoral and will be illegal. Our elections need to be secured. Same day, picture ID, in person. Nations have borders, and these borders should be protected. And our states should not be overrun by illegal aliens. This increases crime, increases costs, decreases job availability, and decreases wages. All that to say, conservatism mostly closely aligns with reality and natural law. Conservatism brings prosperity, order, and happiness. The other side brings the opposite: diversity, inclusion, and equity, or whatever it is. The stated goals of conservatism are prosperity, order, and happiness. The middle of the road, the line item Republicans, they just get in everyone's way. It's a failed politics that goes nowhere. Those are some of the issues in general. My approach to legislation would be this: if it harms children or fails to protect children, I would vote against it. If it harms families, if it fails to protect families, I would vote against it. If it infringes on your liberty, I would vote against it. If it infringes on your right to defend yourself, your family, your property, I would vote against it. If it privileges one group of people over another group of people, I would vote against it. And really, if it takes more of your money, if it increases these random fees and taxes, and if it steals from Tabor, I would vote against it. Simple tactical things I would fight for. I would vote against bad laws. I don't want to just make bad laws less bad. Vote against bad law. Conversely, promote good law and repeal about half the laws that are out there right now. They can be pulled back, they can be taken off the shelf, they can be put to rest. Limit the number of laws per legislative session and reduce the number of days of the legislative session by about half. That's a top line overview of issues, tactics, and approaches. The second and third question, these kind of run together. The second question is something along the lines of, how can we regain seats in the Colorado legislature, especially seeing that we are a minority? And number three, isn't moving to the middle the best way to get Republicans elected? Okay, first things first. The best way to regain seats in the Colorado legislature is to start electing conservatives who will go up and enforce your conservative values. And Colorado is the best case study for this. We've seen that over the past 2 decades, the weaker the conservative candidates have gotten, the squishier, the more moderate, the more seats the Democrats picked up. Because why would someone vote for a Republican who doesn't believe in their own platform? Strong values, strong beliefs, and courage. That is what wins legislative seats, and that's what wins legislative majorities. That's historical, that's demonstrable. I went over it in my last video. You should check that out where I just covered a little bit more. But I've also heard this more than once in the past, I don't know, 6 months. But Troy, some people will say, Colorado has a 51% block of unaffiliated voters, the highest number of unaffiliated voters in the US. We must appeal to the middle. That is a fundamentally untrue statement, and it's very silly. It would be more accurate to say that Colorado has become a state with a 51% block of conservative voters who are tired of Republican representatives abandoning their base and betraying them at the legislature. Because by definition, there is not a 51% middle. What there is a large block of voters who are ready for conservative candidates who have the courage of their convictions. I've also been told that the role of the Republican minority in the Colorado legislature is to put up token resistance and to hopefully make bad laws less bad. Now, I've heard this also more than once. It's some kind of truism that's been passed around by the establishment to appease everyone. But it's a silly and ridiculous argument, if only because it is demonstrably false. Colorado has some of the worst laws in the entire nation. We've exceeded most every blue state in radical ideology, which means that there are no laws that our token Republicans have made less bad. We are at max bad. Republicans in Colorado need to elect strong conservatives to the Colorado legislature. Not token Republicans, not rhinos, not middle of the road Republicans. Strong conservatives who understand, who believe, and who will fight for the conservative platform, who will fight for your rights and your freedom. Remember, there are no line item conservatives, people who want to take the Second Amendment and lower taxes. But they don't want to talk about the proper role of sex, marriage, medical freedom, assimilation and citizenship, nationalism versus globalism. That all fits into the conservative platform. There are no line item conservatives. It's all or nothing. There are no standalone conservatives. Strong conservatives attract other strong conservatives. Strong conservatives recruit and convert more conservatives. All right, so those are my issues. Gives you a framework, a ballpark. I support the conservative platform, all of it. I would fight for the conservative platform. It's time to send real conservatives to the legislature. I'm Troy Vanderhule. I'm running to be your state representative for HD 14. Paid for by Troy for Colorado.